Hey, so you tuned into the video because you're thinking about buying a rebuilt title car. Some people slang-wise call them salvage cars. That's not what we're talking about today. We're talking today about buying a rebuilt title car, when it might be a good deal for you and when you should stay away from it. So give me a second, let me get the video rolling and we'll have that discussion. Also, you know I can't pass up an opportunity to ask for a like and a subscribe. Thanks for watching, let's get going. All right, so one of the first things that confuses people is what's the difference between rebuilt, salvage, all those kind of things. So in most states, a salvage title vehicle cannot be registered to drive. A salvage title is a vehicle that the insurance company took a total loss on, paid out their customer, and then sold the car to a junk dealer auction generally, and it was bought, fixed up, and put back on the road. Salvage in Texas is pink. Those you cannot register. What most people actually mean when they're talking about a rebuilt title or salvage title car, they mean a rebuilt title. And here in Texas, that can be a blue title if it's original or a brown title if it's a certified copy. And under the remarks section, it will say rebuilt. Other states do it similarly. They may say rebuilt, or they may say flood, or they may say total loss. But there's going to be some attachment, what they call branding, to that title that explains that it was rebuilt. Now, does that mean that there are other cars out there that have been totally destroyed and rebuilt and put back on the road that are not rebuilt titles? That answer is yes. The only way you get a rebuilt title is from a car that was totaled by an insurance company and then fixed. If you got in an accident and totaled out the car, meaning it was just destroyed, and you sold it and somebody fixed it, put it back on the road, it would not have that rebuilt title branding. So that's the difference. Really, when we talk rebuilt, we have to understand that rebuilt only means that the damage was so bad an insurance company totaled it, and that there could be other cars on the road that have had the same problem. Now, who should buy a rebuilt title car, and when is it a good deal? A lot of people, when they're looking at rebuilt titles or considering rebuilt titles, they're looking to save some money. Maybe they were looking for 2010 Honda Accords. They really want one. They find one that's $8,000 instead of $10,000. And then you find out that the reason it's $8,000 and not 10 is that it does have that rebuilt designation. So yes, the rebuilt title does cause a decreased value. That's something to consider. I don't know that I would buy a brand new Corvette with a reconditioned or rebuilt title if I was planning to put it in my garage and never drive it and hope that it would go up in value. I would probably buy a 2010 Honda Accord for my kid, who will probably wreck it anyway. It's their first car with a rebuilt title, because it's not a collector car, it's a commuter car, or it's a car that we know is going to get ruined. That's just the reality of the situation. Now, can you get insurance on a rebuilt title car? That answer will vary. Some insurance companies offer full coverage insurance for your rebuilt title car because they're making the assumption that the car has been fixed. Other insurance companies will offer full coverage, but in the event that you have an accident that's your fault and the car needs to be repaired, they have some sort of discounted ratio for what they're willing to pay for repairs because the car has been previously rebuilt. And then there are other insurance companies that will not touch a rebuilt title car for anything beyond liability. And honestly, depending on the value of the car to begin with, you may only need liability. So I would recommend calling your insurance company and asking them what their policy is for rebuilt title cars, if it's a car that's new enough and nice enough that you're going to want full coverage on. If you're just looking for liability, I have not heard of any insurance company that will not accept a rebuilt title car with liability insurance. But call your company before you buy the car just to verify that I'm speaking the truth. I'm telling you this from my experience. Yours may be different, and I certainly wouldn't want anybody to buy a car based on my video and then find out they can't get insurance. The worst case scenario is you may have to change insurance companies, or little Billy may have to be on his own policy, or something of that nature to get the car insured. But yes, absolutely, you can insure a car with a rebuilt title. Hey, thanks for watching my video. I wanted to take a second and ask you to give me a like and a subscribe. By nature, a lot of my videos are something where you go to them, just need some information, and then you're on your way. However, I got tons and tons of views, and only like 3% of the people that watch my videos are subscribed. So if you're looking for cars, I post my cars when we get them available on YouTube with a walk around video. If you have title questions, I have all kinds of title information on my channel as well. So if you hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave me a comment. If you want to be made aware of my new videos, you hit that notification in the bottom of your screen. It'll send you a message when we post something. Maybe if you're looking for a new car, used car of course, you'll hit that notification then. And every time a video comes up, there it is, you'll be aware. If you're just here hunting down title information, a subscribe is greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching. Now we'll get back to the rest of my video. So one of the things that people ask often is, well, how do I know how bad it was? Or how do I know what happened? And, oh, it must have been destroyed. Not necessarily the case. One trick I would do or ask is, when I'm looking at a rebuilt title car, I would put that VIN into Google and see if it comes up with images of the car wrecked at one of the junk car auctions. And you may find pictures of the car where it was sold at auction, and you can kind of get a look at how bad it was. Some of these things, dealers, insurance companies buy new parts. They generally buy OEM parts. And what happens is, buying the parts new and OEM make the value too high, so they salvage the car out. But maybe a body shop bought the car and they used used parts from the junkyard to fix it, and it was significant savings. Also, your prime big auto repair and body shops that have the contracts with the insurance companies, their labor rates are higher. They charge more for their work, opposed to a little independent guy that does the body work. So that's one of the reasons why perhaps the car is not bad like you would think. But look for those pictures online. It may give you a clue as to what the car looks like before the repairs were done. The next thing I would recommend when buying a rebuilt title car is take it to a shop. There is no standard. There is no detailed inspection of the vehicle once the vehicle has been fixed. All that is required here in Texas, at least, is the state inspection, which is it passes emissions if it's an emissions county, and then headlights, taillights, brakes, that kind of stuff all function. So I would take it to a shop. I would tell them it's a rebuilt title, and you want to make sure that the vehicle's safe. Have them put it up on the lift. I wouldn't be offended by, it has a crumpled panel, or the frame has a little bend to it up front, in front of the wheels or behind the wheels. Those things wouldn't bother me. What I want to make sure of is, are all the bolts there? Are there any cracks in the body, the suspension, the frame that could later be a safety issue for me, my child, my wife, whatever it is? If the car gets a good bill of health there, I'd probably buy it if the price is right. In my opinion, a rebuilt title car should be about 20% below what cars that don't have rebuilt titles are. And there's great opportunities there because there are people afraid of rebuilt titles. It might not fit their needs. But if you're buying a car to wear out, you drive a lot for work, you're in sales or something like that, you're a realtor, the car's got a rebuilt Honda, a rebuilt Toyota, a rebuilt Escalade, whatever it is. Once it's fixed properly, nobody knows it's a rebuilt title but you. A lot of times they're lower mileage cars because they got wrecked and then they weren't driven for a while, and then they got fixed, and then it's harder to sell because it's rebuilt. So the end result is that there are a lot of lower mileage cars that do have rebuilt titles, and that may be just fine for what you're trying to accomplish. So that's it. That's the rebuilt title thing. It's not right for everybody. It is right, again, for somebody that's going to commute a lot and just wear the car out. It's right for a child's first car because statistically, they're going to wreck it. I had two of my children wreck their first car. One still, knock on wood, has not had an accident. But statistically, they're going to get wrecked. If it's a backup car, a second car, a car that you use on occasion that you're not looking for it to hold its value, again, perfect example for a rebuilt title car. I would not buy a collector car that has a rebuilt title because you're trying to buy that in order to extend value over a period of time. And unfortunately, with those cars, some sort of salvage history can really, really affect the value. So that's it. There's the video. I appreciate you sticking this far along. In a second, you're going to get the button on the screen that says to hit the subscribe button. For whatever reason, the types of videos that I make, generally, people do not subscribe. They watch the one item I'm telling them about, and they're done. What that means is 96% of you folks that are watching my videos don't subscribe. I would sincerely appreciate it if you think my content is good. If you want to look at some of my other videos about car titles, car title paperwork, and things like that, hit that like, hit that subscribe, ask me questions down below. I'll get to them as quickly as I can with answers. And thanks, folks, and have a great day.